Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio with this pre-match show building up to a Rangers victory at home at St Mirren. Join myself upstairs on the show this evening is your Robert. Evening, young man.
Evening, Ox. How we doing?
I'm all right, mate. Tip top. A lot better the last time you seen me.
Just a bit.
How are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good, mate. Good. Starting to feel the cold right enough, but I'm good.
The temperature's plummeting a wee bit. I believe you've got the team for us, mate. And the substitutes.
I do indeed, mate. Interesting reading. Tonight's starting 11. In goal, Jack Butland. Tavernier, Suter, Fernandez, Magoma are your back four. Raskin, Diomande, Asgard, Moore, Gassama, Chermiti. On the bench this evening, Kelly, Enciala, Aarons, Barron, Curtis, Cameron, Danilo, Kieran Dowell, and Rabi Matondo.
Who?
Correct.
Okay, so look, obviously, no Sterling. Would you think that's because he's played a lot of football, mate?
I think it is, mate, just managing minutes. Fully expect him to come back in the weekend.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. And for his sake and your sake, mate. And obviously, people will be saying, where did Matondo come for you?
Aye, he's certainly been very much at the picture of quite some time now. So, again, he's probably just there to make up the numbers on the bench. I don't expect to see him. I'd be really surprised if he comes on, that's for sure.
Okay. See when I played football, mate, and you got in the team before him. Yeah?
Yep.
So we've got two midfielders starting the day, Raskin and Diomande. And I'm not saying he's been outstanding. I think it was Fox termed the phrase, he's like a bee without a sting, yeah? Connor Barron, but he's been the pick of our midfielders all season with his endeavour, his industrialism, and his work rate, mate. No, he's no a guy who's going to create, but none of the other two have created much this season. In fact, Diamante's created but one pass when he flicked it back to Lyle Cameron and Pilsner's, I think, about his sole contribution this season, mate. I know it's the red zone, I know it's all about, but every game's important, mate, yeah? What's your take on it?
Initially surprised, mate, to be honest, as you said. Barron has been the pick of the midfielders. We know his limitations, we know what he gives you. I can only assume he's got one eye to weekend, but you've got to play the game that's in front of you first and foremost, and that's tonight. So a bit surprised, mate, because if you dropped Diomande or even Raskin, if I'm being honest, you wouldn't have been surprised. Whereas I think there's a lot of us surprised with Barron being named on the bench.
Aye, I think so. Mate. Right, people join us all the time, mate, as the show's kicked off. You want to read out the team, and then we'll get the phone lines opened.
Absolutely, mate. Tonight's team is Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Fernandez, Magoma, Raskin, Diomande, Asgard, Moore, Gassama, Chermiti. On the bench, Kelly, Enciala, Aarons, Barron, Curtis, Cameron, Danilo, Dowell, and Matondo.
Okay, mate.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
I don't know if this AI is going to be a good thing for the planet, Robert. I really don't. But come enjoy this.
I'm still not used to it, mate. I said that last night. I'm still not used to it. Taking a while.
Brilliant, Mr. Fox. Brilliant.
Well,
Listen,
one of the guys on
listen.
Facebook out there has just said that Derek Horn on Facebook said that Barron's on 4 yellow cards. If he's booked tonight, would miss the game at the weekend.
All right, okay. Well spotted, Huggy. Good shout, mate. If that is the case, it makes perfect sense. In some respects, they're both 3-pointers, mate. You've got to win both games. Look, I understand it. If that's the case, I also understand it. If Barron's done that much running, that you maybe go to watch him and protect him. I get all that, but I struggle with it, mate, because, you know, how many times have you seen guys rested, they come back and they still get injured, mate, you know?
Aye, again, there's not to say, if you're named on the bench as well, you're expected to be ready to come on as well. So if Raskin, Diamond, or even Asgard needs to come off, Barron's is the obvious choice in the middle of the park to come on. So it's not to say that I will protect him for as long as you can. He can still be called upon. And you can see with even the weekend there, the referee can still book you for nothing or when you're hardly involved in anything. So it makes sense, I suppose, if you're resting him in terms of not starting the match. But as I said at the start of the show, mate, you've got to play the game in front of you, and that's the game tonight before you even consider the weekend.
Aye. Listen, we'll not lose any creativity with Connor getting out the team, yeah? You know, but we'll lose something, mate. We'll lose something. The back four, obviously the big talking point will be John Suter starting. I didn't think he would start. I thought he might get more minutes, mate. Well, maybe he might get an hour the night. That might be the plan. And when you look at that, mate, who's coming on? And Salah?
I would probably need to be in Ciala,
Aye.
unless he decides to put
Aarons
on
and
Aarons
move
to
Tav.
have in. Aye.
Possibly.
The obvious choice would be in Ciala for me.
Aye, I get it, mate. And then move Fernandez across to the right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, mate. All right, what's your take on the team, mate, before we talk about the opposition? And by the way, we're first in our next 3 games we're against all the holders of trophies in Scotland at the moment. So let's put a marker down there.
Aye, absolutely, mate, absolutely. In terms of the team, it's a few. I'm surprised that Suter is starting. I did expect him to get some minutes, but not from the start, if I'm being honest. Again, came on at the weekend, not a lot of minutes. Expect him to get more tonight with a view of maybe even starting at the weekend. Still surprised that Barron been dropped, but again, there's possible reasons for that. The one that kind of stands out is there's no Miovski at all in the squad. That would give me a bit of a worry, if I'm being honest. The big man up front, he's not cut it out yet. I don't think he will cut it. And then Danilo's on the bench. It doesn't give me much confidence, mate, in terms of a like-for-like substitution. And I'm a bit worried, obviously, with that knock previously Miovski had, whether that's reoccurred.
Well, we've got a problem with as a striker, mate, you can play rot and score goals and you're all right. Our strikers have played rotten and no scored goals, mate. So it's a bad combination. And ultimately, you're judged in the number of goals. But we also have to create more chances. Yeah, we did on Saturday. A lot of them were in the last few minutes when the game was done. But we have to continually create chances. And then we can really have a go at them if they're fluffing their lines, mate, yeah?
Aye, absolutely. And I expect a wee bit. I expect Gassama, and I hope Gassama kind of starts the way he ended the game at the weekend. He looked a lot more effective moving to the right, which is surprising because we've seen many times he's more effective on the left. But when he went to that right-hand side, he had Motherwell's left back on toast for that period of time. And then when we were starting, I expect him to kind of be the driving force getting forward, creating chances for himself, and hopefully ones around the box and around him.
Yeah.
Asgard's or Chimitis, if they get in.
Asgard, I know Asgard got the winner, but I didn't think he had a good game. Again, at the weekend, mate, you've got to watch when you take a dislike to somebody as a player in your team, mate. Sometimes you're maybe overcritical. So, I just felt he always shows, he always does something that shows he's got ability, and then he just frustrates, doesn't he? I think he passed the ball at the park twice at the weekend under no pressure, mate, you know?
Aye, they did a few times, mate. We've said it umpteen times in this show. He's got the ability. We can see it. He's just not doing it at the right times, making slack passes, trying to take on 2 or 3 men when you could make an easy pass just to keep the move going and the flow going. Again, he's that kind of midfielder with the way we're kind of setting up. For me, he seems to be the one that will be more advanced of the midfield. So you're expecting him to be in and around the box, kind of in a free role, is what I would assume. But out of the other two, he's the one that you're kind of looking for to break the lines and get forward.
Aye. You'd expect him in. Could you see it as a 4-2-3-1, mate? Could you see that?
That's the way I see it, mate. It's a 4-2-3-1 the
aye.
way I see it. Raskin and Diamonde sitting.
Aye. Whereas
Diamonde with a bit of license to go for a bit more, I'd assume, with Raskin sitting.
aye, there's a lot of scrutiny on the midfield at the moment. Everybody's saying the same thing, yeah?
It's clear to see that's where our weak area was. I mean, we came on here a couple of weeks ago and we said it was a defence, but arguably defence has improved the most. Clean sheets have proved that. Less shots at goal have proved that. The midfield is where we're lacking physicality and creativity. That's your engine room, and if that's not working, then it does cause you problems elsewhere in the park, defensively and attacking.
Aye, because we give away the ball at the right time. Because we're maybe attacking, we get caught in possession. We don't make the right passes. It's not a good combination. But we just need to keep winning games. That's the plus side. We just need to keep winning games. Win this next game, we'll get 3 big ones, mate. And then take it for there, mate. This is not going to be easy tonight. I think we know how they'll play. They'll try and get the ball up the middle, high and long, mate, yeah?
I certainly think that's the way they'll approach it. I'm just having a look at their lineup just now, and their 2 strikers, they'll cause a bit of problems. The boy Ayunga, he's a tall physical threat. I fully expect him to be a bit of a challenge for Suter and Fernandez, but it's something that they should be able to deal with at St Mirren. But at the same time, we've caused ourselves problems at the back in previous games. But it's just about being clinical. As we've said before, mate, you take the catalyst of the attacking threat that we gave Dundee United at Tannadice with a clinical finish in a Kilmarnock, you can win the game. But you'll take a 1-0 right now, mate, because it's a big game and big games come ahead thick and fast.
Aye, you want to win the game. That's the be all and end all. But I think the punters want to see a wee bit entertaining at Ibrox, mate. We've not been great at Ibrox in this calendar year, mate. And you can feel the natives getting restless, mate. And it's not a go at Danny Rowe, mate, and different players. It's just we haven't been. It's a fact.
Aye, it is, and especially tonight, mate. It's a cold December Ibrox. You want the fans to be entertained on their feet, clapping, supporting, singing, dancing. But the players have got to get that over to the fans by putting in a performance. I'm not saying the performance needs to be there, but if we are playing well, we appreciate a good performance. But of course, we want to win first and foremost. But again, it's one of those nights that it's going to be tricky, but it's whether we make it tricky for ourselves. That's a big problem.
Right. Aye. You're right, mate. You know, a lot of the times we've struggled, mate. We have shot ourselves in the foot, you know, and we make things hard for ourselves. Even there at the weekend, mate, you know, we still gave away a lot of chances, mate. A lot of chances. More than I would like at Ibrox.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, mate. And again, as the game went on, we started to create more as well. But the chances we gave up initially, if I'm well, particularly in the first half, Butland made a few good saves. I think it was 2 or 3 saves, and it was 0-0 at the time. They're big moments that when they goals go against you, you couldn't sit and say, we'll get back in it, because you've not got the confidence that the team could turn that around if they did go in. So,
no scoring enough goals, Robert. No scoring enough goals.
No, you're not. And the issue was we weren't creating before. Now we are creating. we just don't have that end product. And that, as you said at the start of the show, mate, that's the problem. It's not a good combination.
Yep. All right, let's hear from Danny Rowland, hear what he's got to say about the lineup.
Danny, just starting with your team, 2 changes from Saturday with John Suter and Mikey Muir coming in. Just talk us through those.
Yeah, John is back. I think this is great. Duchamp, was tough, but we need the load management. He played a lot of minutes the last couple of weeks, especially after the injury. I think this is very important now. It's not easy to take him out, but we have to be careful with him. This is one thing. And Connor is the same. He played also a lot of minutes. He ran over 15k in the last game. Was amazing. I think this is what we have to take. This is the reason we have a squad. And then finally, Bojan is out, unfortunately, in the morning. He's ill.
What sort of challenge do you expect from St Mirren tonight?
Yeah, I think when we look a little bit back in the past or this year, how tough the games were and the result. This year we couldn't win against this team. This is the challenge today, to win against them. It's a physical side, a direct team, well organized. They won the title. There's a reason why. Yeah, we have to be careful. We have to be very strong in the rest defense, very aggressive against the ball on the second ball, but also we need great solutions with the ball, small spaces, and we have to attack them. And I think this is a completely different challenge today, compared to Motherwell game, and we have to face this.
Yeah, from Saturday's game, can you take a lot of positives from the amount of chances you created?
Yeah, but for me it's clear today we have to be really ruthless in our chances to use. We will get not so many chances today. We need very clinical in both boxes. If we do this, we will win the game. If not, it will be a tough one.
Yeah, just lastly, what qualities do you want to see from your side tonight to getting that positive result?
Yeah, at first we have to find a way to break them down. There are different ways. You can play around, you can play into, you can play behind. We have to challenge them, we have to stress them. If we do this, then they will also make mistakes. But in the right moments we have to do this. I think this is important to understand. On the weekend the game was very open from both sides. Both played forward. Today I expect more, that we have a lot of ball possession, and it's about what we are doing with the possession.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. A few explanations there. Did I catch that right, Robert, that he said that Majowski was ill? Did you pick that up the same as me?
Yeah, fell ill this morning.
Morning. I thought I just went in. Obviously, we did mention Connor's workload, yeah?
Aye, his endeavour, his effort, that's in the numbers. It's the sports scientist putting into the decisions as well, and he's clocked up that many kilometres in a game of football, so you don't want to burn the guy out, especially if you are saying that he is the informed midfielder.
Aye. And Dujon just protect him. We were right. We thought that. We hoped that. Should I say? Hoped that. And that again, just because he's come back, maybe played more minutes than was planned, mate.
Aye, it makes a bit of sense, if I'm being honest. I'm still surprised it's sort of starting, given he's just back as well. But I suppose if you can get good minutes in Suter tonight, you've got Sterling fresh for the weekend, you might find the both of them start on Saturday.
Interesting, mate. Interesting. If I was Fernandez, I'd be going out and try and claim that jersey. Would you know me?
I think he'll start as well, mate. I see all three of them starting on Saturday.
Okay.
Not get too much away, but I think you might see all three in the park starting.
Aye. Simon, they've turned into a team that's been difficult for us the last couple of seasons, mate. This season and last.
Aye, again, that's a team that you know what they're going to do. They play a certain style of football because of the players they've got, and it's just about us trying to nullify that and restrict them to what they can do to impose themselves on a game. But as you said, it's been a tricky tie, even at Ibrox or away at St Mirren. It seems to be a fixture where, for some reason, we become unstuck. And we've showed that already this season. I know they've hit a wee bit of form, maybe not so much in the league where they want to be, but obviously on a high winning the cup, as he mentioned, it called it a title, but still a cup for them.
Did you give him a Guardiola, mate? Just for that.
Not right now, no.
Oh dear. easy to upset some people, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I know. But no, we know what they'll bring. As I say, they play with two forwards. The kind of Mandrons, he's got a bit of pace. Ayunga's fast as well. He's got the height, the physicality. We'll probably use their wings, their kind of wing backs a lot. So it's again how we defend with the press. I think we've seen that on Saturday, that the press wasn't there for the first 15, 20 minutes, changed it up. And I think it'll be similar tonight. I don't know if we'll have a lot more ball possession. I think we'll be happy to let St Mirren have it in certain areas.
They would want to get it forward quick, long and fast, wouldn't they? Would you know if you were them? Yeah.
Aye.
Get it forward fast and maybe high and long in certain areas, mate. Play their strengths, yeah.
Aye, you've got to. That's how you win football games. You play to your strengths and against your opponent's weaknesses. But for this season, a lot of teams have been doing that to us, and we've not done it enough to other teams.
No, I know. Yeah, listen, we congratulate them for winning the cup, mate. Obviously, gave us a decent day, but as a Rangers supporters, however, it's all about us tonight. We just have to get the victory because it's a massive game, mate.
It certainly is, and at this moment in time, where we are on the table and the way the fixtures are coming, they're all becoming big, important games because you can't afford any more slip-ups. With an opportunity against Hearts we never took, and again, Hearts on the playing tonight, so we can close the gap to 6. And obviously, them across the city have got Motherwell, who played well at the weekend against us. I actually fancy Motherwell to take something from that result, so you might even close another gap, which sets up the weekend a wee bit nicely.
Oh, I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right, but first and foremost, mate, we've got to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about, especially at Ibrox. You want to impose yourself. I said it to Albert at the weekend, mate. That first 15, 20 minutes, we looked like the away team. We were just sitting off, allowing Motherwell to dictate it. Tonight, it needs to be on the front foot, and as Daniel says, be clinical in both boxes, defend well, and when the chance comes, they might be few and far between. You've got to take them.
Aye. Motherwell played up until about 20 minutes, I would say. Their ball retention was superb, mate. Superb. And we didn't get to grips with it at all. And, and sometimes we're forward players, one go and one doesn't go. There doesn't seem to be any togetherness in the press, mate.
No, you're not. You're right, mate, because again, we touched on it last night when we were reviewing the game. There was times where it seemed to be one individual player doing the press, but you know yourself, as soon as one player does it, it just leaves a void in the area of pitch that teams can exploit. You need to move as a unit, and if we're not doing that, that's when teams can start to play through as easy. And you've seen Motherwell do that. I don't think St Mirren's that kind of footballing side. They'll be more high balls direct, but again, it's a vulnerability that we've had in recent weeks that we need to deal with, and we need to stand up, take care of it. You might see the back line maybe looks a bit more assured with Suter coming in, but you've got to remember he's just come back from an injury as well.
Aye. Suter's form, sometimes when players get injured, you become more important than people. I don't think Suter's form is particularly great this season, mate, if I'm honest. But listen, he's an experienced player. Yeah, he knows what it's about. And does he improve our team? Stirling or Suter, mate? What's your take on it? Stirling or Suter?
Stirling for physicality, I'd say, especially in that back line.
I don't think Stirling's a centre half. I say that.
No, they are. I think he's a better centre defensive mid, or even a right back, given the right back dilemmas these kind of weeks. But I think he's a defensive midfielder. Again, he's not that creative player, but he's a physical unit in Midley Park, which we've lacked.
Right, okay. Give us a team and then we'll give a shout out and see if people want to join us as we build up to the game at Ibrox, mate.
Certainly, mate. Team tonight is Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Fernandez, Magoma, Raskin, Diamonde, Asgard, Moore, Gassama, and Chermiti. On the bench, Kelly, Enciala, Aarons, Barron, Curtis, Cameron, Danilo, Dibble, and Matondo.
I think people might fall off their seat or whatever, when they see Matondo mentioned, mate.
I know, that's a bizarre one. Again, he's been at the picture for so long, but I think that just shows you how thin we are on the ground at this moment in time, that they two are getting a matchday squad.
Also, mate, I mean, obviously, Barham, he's mentioned red zones or whatever you want to call it now, Robert. Rothwell, it looks obvious to everybody that he's off. And then, there's some agreement, he's just disappeared. So that happens in football sometimes. But God, have we short on bodies in midfield, mate?
Massively. And again, that all boils back to that one famous word that we've said numerous times: recruitment. It's a very weak-looking midfield in terms of what they can bring to the table. They've all got similar attributes. We've said it, we don't have a playmaker. There's no physicality. There's no height. It's very vulnerable midfield.
Aye. Yeah, aye. When I look at, if you're saying that your midfield's Asgard, Diamondi and Raskin, there's only one of them will come and hit it. Yeah? And I don't know, mate. It's the blend. As all bears always saying, building a team's not as easy as people think. Getting players is easy, but building a team's a different thing. The blend just hasn't looked right for a while.
No, it's not. It's not. You're right. You've got to have a bit of versatility in your midfield. If you're playing, whether it's 2 or 3, they've all got to have different attributes and skills to bring to the table. Somebody's your ball winner, somebody's your playmaker, and somebody's that kind of all-round midfielder. Modern day, you'll have 6 different words or instructions or rules for them all, but we've all got the same guys that all can retrieve a ball, all put in a wee bit of a shift. But once it goes forward, they've not got the eye for the pass. They don't have the physicality to go man for man, and that's when it can break down. And before you know it, our teams are opposing themselves on us at the back line. And we've looked vulnerable previously. It's got better over the past few weeks, but it turns over far too easily.
Mr. Fox has predicted that Matondo will either go back off injured or score a worldie.
See, if he scores a worldie, then I'm going to tell you right now, there's more chance of Southside Super 6 coming up tonight.
Right, okay. He's went for quite big odds tonight. I imagine a lot of that came from the Steel Town, eh?
Aye, I had to listen back, even listening last night. I was like, did he say West Ham? Sure he said West Ham, and sure enough, aye, that was where the odds are getting made. So if one team lets you down Southside, I think that could be the one, mate.
Well, I'm hoping it's Stotts, but he's a brave man, isn't he? He's a brave man.
Yeah, he's got the end of the year in the high, surely.
Newcastle's for him. West Ham's for him. I think they're third bottom in that league, aren't they?
I think they're thereabouts, aye, they'll be.
Aye. Man United, watched them against Newcastle the other night, mate. And they get pounded that second half. But anyway, Southside knows what he's doing.
As long as somebody does.
He knows what he's doing, mate. He gets 10% cut for the bookies.
Aye. He had one last night, never shared it with anybody.
Oh, he's good at that, mate.
Terrible.
He's good at that. Anyway, yeah. Look, I'm looking for a victory tonight, mate. Yes, 1-0. But as I said earlier, I'm looking for blue shoots of performance also, Robert.
Aye, a bit of a lift. It's been flat, the performances, and we know that points over performance is always the most important thing, but you do want to see a wee bit of entertaining football and fast action going forward, winning the ball back, breaking away, and then when you get the chances to score the goals and hopefully maybe get 2 or 3 in the score sheet. But again, the way it's been lately, you would take a 1-0 all day long because it's 3 points. Bridge said it last night. You get no more for a 1-0 than you do a 9-0. So at the end of the day, it's still 3 points on the board, which is vital. But you just want to have a better feel-good factor of watching something, because at times it's put you to sleep at times.
Aye. It's just we need to play better. Yeah. Do you think Danny Rose improved us, mate? I've got the St Mirren team before you come in. George in goal, Fraser, King, Freckleton, Richardson, Phillips, Kojic, Radowo, John, Ayunga, and Mandarin, mate. Obviously, there's a few players in the two centres we know all about now. We've watched them. The boy John that played with us, Declan John, and Gogic, he's been about Scottish football for a good number of years. I've heard people talk about us. I would have took him, but mate, no. I would have took him years ago, mate. Yeah, I think actually the ship sailed. But, you know, you've heard talk about it. People have talked about it. The snow, mate. But he's a good footballer.
He is. He's quite commanding in both boxes as well. Defensively and attacking, he's a danger going forward. Aerially, when the ball comes in from set pieces. But I think a lot of people rate him because similar to what he does, he just gets about the park easily, breaks the play up and keeps it simple. That's what we expected Joe Rothwell to do when he came in. We know how that's worked out, and as you said, it looks like the writing's on the wall. He'll be leaving the club in January, but there'll certainly be a physical side to Mirren. The lineup tells you that as well, mate.
They're playing. They'll play the same way they always play, mate. To their strengths, they've got a good manager, mate, who builds teams, mate. Little budgets and gets on with his job and knows what he's got to find and he knows what he likes, mate. Obviously, he likes big, strong, fast forwards, mate. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially if they score goals.
No, not at all, mate. As you said, he's a manager who works on a tight budget. He can build a team because St Mirren's, for them, back-to-back top six finishes, get into a European competition as well, albeit qualifiers, and win a cup. It's an achievement for St Mirren. So some might even say it's an overachievement for St Mirren. But again, Stevie Robinson knows what he's doing. He was linked with us as well. A lot of supporters would have took a punt on him coming in the summer. Again, that never materialised to anything. I know yourself said he'd be a good number 2 to somebody, to then be a predecessor to somebody coming. But as I said, you know what they're going to do. They play the same way because it's effective for them. It may not be the most entertaining football they play, completely different from what we've seen from Motherwell weekend. But as you say, they play to their strengths, and when they are effective, they can hurt you, as we've seen already this season.
Aye. So listen, mate, he's a decent manager, maybe without the resources, mate. And you're always thinking, what would they do with the resources? Could he move? It might not work, mate, but I'm just saying he's a decent manager. And I believe for what I've heard, he's a decent bloke as well, mate.
I've not heard any kind of bad words about him. He's obviously had time with Motherwell as well, and then went to St Mirren and making a name for himself in terms of the managerial positions. And as I said, he's done quite well with St Mirren in terms of what their ambitions would be and their aims per season. So it's not going to be an easy game tonight, mate. They will come. They'll come at us. They'll fear nothing from us. They'll see our vulnerabilities and they'll play to their strengths, which unfortunately for us is an area that we have not really stamped on, really. But going back to your question, has Role improved us? Defensively, it has. I think the clean sheets prove that. 6 clean sheets in his 9 league games he's got. So defensively, it's been assured. And at times, it's been a makeshift backline.
Aye. Listen, we've stopped losing goals to the same extent, mate. But we're not. I mean, we've got the best defence in the league at the moment, which I think that surprised everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But we've only scored 6 more goals in Livingston.
Aye, that's the worry.
Aye, 6 more goals.
That's the worry, just because you're not scoring many. As I said earlier, before it was we weren't creating enough. We've created umpteen chances in the past few games as well, enough to win 2 or 3 games of football. We just don't have that clinical finisher or the midfield contributing to goals. You don't always just need to rely on your striker. Of course, they're the ones that are meant to get you goals, but it's a team effort. If your midfield aren't contributing, your top goal scorer is still a right back who's not had been on form at all this season either. So that tells you where everybody else is in the rest of the squad in terms of contributions going forward. Of course, you always look at Chermiti, Miovski, Danilo when he plays to get you goals because they're the strikers. They're getting the service at times, they're not in the right areas for them though. That's the thing. You're giving balls into feet. You're playing high balls to Majowski. He can't hold it up. Similar to midfield, none of the strikers can hold a ball up and bring others into play. They're all kind of a one-trick pony. Majowski, if you get him in the box, will get you goals. But the way we play, he's coming deep for them. When the ball goes out wide, he's not in the box to receive a ball in early. And that's something that we're not doing to his strength.
Well, if you mix the three strikers up together, mate, all their assets, I don't think we could get a striker out of the three of them. You know, and the ball, obviously, you've got Shamiti with his physicality. Majowski with his finishing, we'll say, penalty box. Danilo, I always thought Danilo was not a bad football player, but I never seen him as a number 9, mate.
But as I've said to you many times, mate, for me, if you're playing Danilo, you need to play somebody beside him. He needs a partnership up there. He's not effective as a lone striker, whether that's another striker or somebody like a Mikey Moore. That's where Danilo can be effective in games. You've seen it against Hibs. He gets the goal, wins the game 1-0 at Easter Road a couple of months ago. But you're right, it's still an area of concern because we're not scoring enough goals, and when you're not scoring enough goals, you're only leaving yourself open to draws or defeats.
Well, aye, and also you put your team under pressure. You're sitting 2-0 with 5 minutes to go. A game's different, mate. You know, the energy levels of the other team's different, yeah? You know?
Aye, absolutely. Seen that on Saturday against Motherwell. They were pushing for the equaliser. They left themselves vulnerable at the back. At times we had 4 or 5 on 2, and we couldn't get the second just to kill the game, kind of settle the nerves in and around the stadium. And even the players would probably have a sigh of relief because 1-0, as you know, it's never easy getting into the final few minutes. But the quicker you can put teams away, you can then stroll the rest of the game.
Give people minutes, take people off, do all the things that, you know, that maybe we're not getting today. But what I will say is, our squad is small, mate.
Depth for stature.
I don't mean in height.
Well, you could make an argument for that as well, to be honest, certainly midfield. But it's very, very thin, but it all boils back to recruitment, mate. If you had a thin squad that was quality players, you might get away with it, but we don't have the quality or the depth, certainly in crucial areas of the park. Left back, we've still got one left back who's on loan. The strikers, we've got 3 strikers there who are underperforming. With midfield, we've spoken enough about that, so it all boils back to the summer recruitment, unfortunately. But hopefully, in the next few weeks, we can start to solve some of the issues.
Aye, maybe. Mr. Fox is predicting that some other player 3-5-2. I think that'll become at times a 5-3-2, depending how they play it, or they might even go a 5-4-1 out of possession, but they'll try and push it up in possession with the wing backs go forward into midfield. So the midfield could be congested, mate. And the way we play, we're wide men. And I watched Asgard and Gasserman, who were getting their roles. And I listen, mate, I've got to be honest with you. I don't think they put enough yards in. And so Conor Barron and even Raskin have got to cover up to 15k, mate. Yeah. And I think that we just have to, the whole team has to just up the game a wee bit to make it easy for everybody, mate. But they'll congest the midfield, try and win that, try and turn us and get the set pieces, mate, and try and get the ball up the park and put it into the box, mate, because they know what they've got today to cause us problems.
100%. You talk about midfield there. If we are going the 4-2-3-1, which I think it looks like, then if they're playing 5, you need your full backs, but also your wingers to be right on their men. Gassama, Moore, or even Asgard, if he's out in the wing, they all need to be putting a shift in back the way. It's not just about going forward, especially when you are overrunning midfield. But that would explain why Conor Barron's having to do 15k a game, because he's having to cover so much ground because the forward players aren't tracking back enough. I mean, we've had wingers in the past, Ox, as you know, that have put in real defensive shifts. Candias was one. Sima, when he was here, one of the European games, you can remember back, he was playing almost left wing back. They put shifts in. It's not just all about going forward. You're a team player. You need to do the work rate off the ball as much as it is on the ball. And they've got the pace to go up and down the wings as well.
Aye. What do you think Asgar's position is, mate? Just before you go, I don't want to over performances on the doing to him, mate, because sometimes he's only. But when I thought he was coming in, I thought he was going to be a sort of number 10. I don't know if he is, mate. I really don't. I don't know where I'm from.
See, the way he appears to play, I would say a 10 as well, because he's got quick feet. He seems to have the creativity in him. He's just not showing it. I don't think he's a winger. I certainly don't think he's a wide player. He doesn't seem to have the kind of burst of a pace to get by somebody. Maybe trickery, but it doesn't have that kind of instinct for me to go and take a man on. For me, it would be a 10, but I said it last night. I like Mikey Moore in the 10 rather than the wing. I know he's got the pace in the wing, but I like him in the 10 because he finds pockets of space that nobody else in the team does, and he can affect it more when he's in that central free role than restricted to a wing. So for Asgard, I don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't know. I would have said a 10 based on what we'd heard that he had done before at previous clubs and that kind of creative player that he is, and I think he plays as a 10 for Norway as well. So he's just not showing it here. But I would say a 10.
Aye. That'd be interesting. Listen, I hope he does well with the night. A lot of players and maybe gets more confidence, mate. You know, some of them I think are a bit low in confidence and they need a decent team performance, individual performance, just to give them that lift, mate. Yeah.
Aye, absolutely. And there's probably, with the selection in 8 Ox, you could probably make an argument there's a few people out there starting that could be playing for a starting position on Saturday as well. So individually, go and put a performance in, and if you've got a group of individuals playing good, then your team can come good. So hopefully they can all click tonight and get the win. That's all that matters. Is the most important thing is getting the win. No matter how way you get it, take the win.
Aye. Take the win, mate. Take the win. Yeah, because that's what it's all about, professional football. It's all about winning. Right, how's it going to go, mate? What's your thoughts before we wrap up?
Tough game, nervy at times, so nothing of the unusual of late, and I'll go for a 2-1.
Oof, Southside will be looking for you, mate.
No, don't worry, that's fine. I'll let them know where I am.
You know, listen, I'm going to be bold here, right?
Go on.
I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory for the Rangers. There you go.
You recovered from the weekend yet?
Aye.
Just checking.
If you think Saturday was bad, you should have seen Sunday.
Well, Sunday wasn't good either.
No. Well, it was good. Oh dear. Right. No, I just get the first goal, play my football, get the second, kill the game, play it out. Yeah? Don't be greedy, mate.
No, not make it at all, mate. We just want something good to watch, and
Aye.
at the end of it, celebrate a victory. That's all that matters at the end. But something exciting to watch, and there's all the fans travelling there, keep them warm in the stands, let them clap and cheer. It's a cold night, so hopefully players turn on the heat to keep the fans warm and get us a victory to be coming back the Kane way.
Yeah. Listen, Robert, thanks for joining us, mate. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back 15 minutes after the final whistle, celebrating the Rangers victory. Take it away, Old School Blue.
When I was born, it was taught to me of glory's past, of the famous Rangers this RFC. Na 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 na.